Guys. Hey, welcome to our team conference call. We're gonna get started here in just about 60 seconds. Give everybody an opportunity to let everybody know that our call is about to start, or our webinar is about to start. I love this technology. I'm an old school relationship marketer, so every day I'm fascinated by the technology that allows us to come to so many people using this platform, not only here in the U.S. but all over the world. So we're going to give it just about another 40 seconds or so. Give everybody an opportunity to let their organizations know that the webinar is about to start. We're going to move quickly tonight because I believe in production, and sometimes we can take a lot of time with calls and stuff. And I just want to make sure that tonight we give you a few nuggets. I want to make a couple announcements, give you a couple of heads up about what's coming. I can't tell you exactly what's coming, but some things you can expect or be excited about with the conference coming up, Ignite. We're going to get started here in about 20 seconds. Give everybody a chance to get logged in, and we'll get the webinar underway. But appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Amazing things happening inside of Secret, and super excited about the future of Secret. So 10 seconds, we'll be started here. Got a few more people just logging in, and okay. Hey everybody, welcome to the Malat Open Line Team conference call. Of course, we do this call every Tuesday night. This webinar platform is designed to give you the communication, the direction, the guidance that's necessary for building a large organization. To build a global organization, there are some specific skills that are necessary. To build a relationship marketing business, there are some specific skills that are necessary. And so every Tuesday night, we want to come together and teach those skills, the skills that are necessary for building a network marketing business, a relationship marketing business, and for building a global business. You know, there are some specific skills. By the way, when you're evaluating an opportunity, when you're making a decision to join an opportunity, of course, there's three key components that I continue to talk about, and we'll always talk about. The three key components, which are the people, the product, and the process. The people, the product, and the process. Then there's subcategories under each one of those categories. So with the people, you know, of course, you know, we know because we've listened to John Maxwell. We read the John Maxwell books, the number one foremost authority on leadership and leadership development. He says everything rises and falls on leadership. And so when you're evaluating an opportunity, of course, you've got to look at the leadership. You know, does the leadership have the fortitude? Does the leadership have the resources? Does the leadership have the experience? Does the leadership have the commitment to do what's necessary to see things through? Because we know a lot of people don't keep their commitments. A lot of people say a lot of things in the heat of the moment, in the enthusiasm of the moment, but don't follow through. So it's important that we align ourselves with the right people, the right leadership. And that doesn't necessarily mean your sponsor, by the way. Your sponsor, he may have just been the catalyst to introduce you to Secret, which introduces you to the right people, which introduces you to the leadership, world-class leadership. And then I always tell people there's no better leaders that I've ever experienced than the Ben Shabbat family. And of course, most of you already know that. If you're brand new tonight listening in for the first time, you will certainly discover this world-class leadership team that's being developed. The other day, we had a community day here in Phoenix, Arizona. It was the largest community day we ever had, which is very unusual to have so many people fly into Phoenix, come in from all over in different parts of the world, from Mexico, Australia. Had people from Germany, different parts of the world that actually came in, Canada, to our community day, because people are looking over the fence. People today, they're looking for a good home, and they're looking for a home that fits and meets those criteria that I'm talking about: the people, the products, and the process. And of course, Secret is a natural. Secret is a no-brainer once you take a look at it. But one thing that I pointed out it really hit me hard. When we had the community day, we had the executive staff come in and speak with this group of guests that were here, the largest group of guests we ever had, 117-degree heat in Phoenix, Arizona, and nobody was flinching. Everybody was excited to be there. And of course, a lot of new agents came on board that day. But what was so significant is it's one thing for a distributor. It's one thing for me as a Secret agent to tell you how amazing Secret is as a company. Of course, I'm biased. I'm living the dream inside of Secret. I've been building here for 4 years. I know the field like the back of my hand, and I'm still in the field. I'm always in the trenches building. But one thing that really stood out is when we brought the corporate executives. And first off, one thing that was very unique is the corporate executives were talking about how accessible they were, and that's very unusual for corporate people. Corporate people, as you know, will work from 9 to 5, and as soon as 5 o'clock comes, they're checking out. They don't want nothing to do with the business or anybody anymore. Our corporate executives were talking about how accessible they were even after hours. We've had human resource directors say her phone is next to her bed, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I mean, a commitment that's unusual. And again, that commitment stems from the Ben Shabbat family. Everything rises and falls on leadership. But what was even more significant is, of course, most of our executives were new within, everybody's new in Secret. The most veteran employee is 4 years, so everybody's new, but we've been attracting world-class employees, world-class executives into Secret that are coming from other companies, massive companies, global companies, powerhouse companies that and they're coming here because of the future of Secret and the potential of Secret. But what they were all saying is that over the time frame that they've been here, they've gone from 1 or 2 employees in their department to 6, 7, 8, 15 employees. And what I pointed out to the guests that were joining us is saying, look, you don't march your corporate staff and your corporate executives into a room, and then your corporate executives tell you how they're expanding. Look, you don't put more people on payroll if your company is not booming, if your company is not growing, if your company is not in expansion mode, if your company is not building a foundation to support this billion-dollar global powerhouse. It's one thing for us to march distributors, to march agents across the stage, one after another, and say how incredible and awesome and all this stuff and all the hype that can go along with sometimes a secret agent speaking. But it's a whole other thing to have an employee who has no vested interest necessarily, or he does have a vested interest, but doesn't have any reason to hype anything up. Basically, I'm an employee. I'm doing my job every single day. My job is to support the field, and the company continues to provide the resources in the form of the things I need, including the human resources. And those human resources, we continue to put more and more high caliber people on the payroll to support our field. And that, to me, that's exciting. And if you can catch on to that, we are putting the foundation in place to support a multi-billion-dollar global operation. And guys, we're just beginning. We're just getting that started. So for me, that's an exciting place to be. It's the reason why it doesn't matter what my income is, doesn't matter what our income is, doesn't matter what's happening. We continue to stay 100% committed. We continue to lead by example out in front. I believe tomorrow will mark our 10th new agent inside of Secret that we've personally recruited since the Mission 90 program began. And, of course, we're going for our 20 new agents, just like I know a lot of you have. And I'm so impressed because we're looking at the numbers to see how many people got their 5 right away. People have made the commitment to get their 5 new agents. And I'm saying, look, can't stop at 5 because, the 20 is the big prize. As a matter of fact, 20 seems to be the magic number when it comes to bringing new agents into the business. We see those agents that are coming in, they're putting 10 on their left leg, 10 on their right leg. They're coming in and bringing 20 people in. They've got a good handful of people that are serious, that are committed, that want to work, and they really get a much faster start, and it leads to, of course, more success. So let's continue to march hard with our Mission 90. You guys know what to do. If you're not sure about that, if you're new on the call, get with your sponsor, get with the person who invited you to get on the webinar, or go into your back office, all the details of how to participate, and of course the incentives, a lot of incentives for making that happen. Tonight I want to touch on a little bit, I want to talk about simplicity, really dumbing everything down to its lowest common denominator, breaking things down so that it's just raw, simple, no fancy footwork, nothing complex. Guys, for me, when I found out that building a global enterprise, building a massive duplicatable system really came down to simplicity. I was so excited because it used to seem so complicated to me. Everything seemed so complex. And how do you build these big organizations, and how do you build these huge incomes that I would hear about that were happening inside of our profession? And I was fortunate to have mentors. I was fortunate enough to be on webinar or calls like this that they were saying simplicity. It's that, again, that McDonald's approach that a lot of you are probably sick of hearing me talk about. It's having a very simple system for everything you do, a very simple system when it comes to getting a brand new person started. By the way, some insight into the Ignite conference. we are going to break things down to the point where it is just incredibly simple. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Here's step 1. Here's step 2. Here's step 3. Where a brand new person, would get started, and even if they didn't have a sponsor, could get into activity mode and know exactly what to do step by step. And so everything has got to be very systematic in just a couple of steps. Which each process, getting a brand new person started, should only be a couple of steps, 2, 3, maybe 4 steps at the most, and it should be all about getting that new person paid and promoted. My whole reason for bringing someone in the business is to take a couple of steps, teach them exactly how to get paid and promoted, how to get that first paycheck and how to get that first promotion. By the way, every single rank inside of Secret can be had by teaching an army of people how to get paid and promoted, how to break through, because everything comes really from that first promotion. If you can keep creating first promotions create second promotions and third promotions, and enough people that are getting those first promotions create, diamonds and they create silvers and golds, platinums and rubies and diamonds inside of our system, and eventually crowns in our organization. It creates the income stories that are necessary, and it comes down to the very simple steps that are necessary to get somebody paid and promoted. You guys know that we use the blueprint. I talk about the blueprint, and we don't need to go through everything in the blueprint. If you're trying to get your people to read all the details in the blueprint, it's a lesson in futility. Most people are not going to go through that, but having a very systematic, clear approach to getting someone paid and promoted. You can always go back to the steps in the blueprint. What I'm looking to do is get someone to make that list, get into that list quickly, get their first wow party set up, get mud on people's faces quickly. Create campaigns, guys. When I'm getting someone started, when I'm getting an organization moving, when I'm creating momentum in an organization, I want to have campaigns like 30 faces in 30 days, getting mud on 30 faces. And again, not focus necessarily on the result, because we all know if you do the activity inside a Secret, the results are going to come automatically. Inside the blueprint, you might take a little bit of time to touch on third party. And as a matter of fact, you should, that you're the third party resource, or we have the videos that are third party resource. The products themselves are an amazing third-party resource. If there's nobody around, you don't have to say much, maybe not have to say anything, because you can use our products to introduce people and to move people quickly through the process. We have something very special and very unique here, that our model is built on demonstrations, which cost our distributors very little, pennies and nickels, to do demonstrations, where instead of having to give people products that they've got to try out for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and then may or may not buy them, products that cost us as distributors, as agents. I love the fact that we've got a demonstration model that, look, I don't have to be a great pitch master. I don't have to be a great salesperson. You just got to demonstrate or experience these products. These are products that you truly experience. And when you do experience them, you fall in love with them, and they become this perpetual money machine. And so inside of the blueprint that I'm doing, I just touch on third party a little bit, that I'm a resource. I'm able to be reached for three-way calls to help with inviting people to your wow parties, to help with inviting people to your 5 wows in 5 minutes, your sit downs, your cup of coffees. I'm here as a resource for you. But then we've got other third party tools, of course, the videos. By the way, guys, we're working on some things from an automation standpoint that's going to drive, I believe, a massive amount of people into Secret. We're cutting out some of the moving parts. We're cutting out some of the extra steps and some of the complication, and we're going to create. We're creating you just got to come to Ignite to see this almost. I don't want to say rebranding, but almost this rebranding of the Secret system, and it's very clear, very concise, and it'll be very, very simple for any brand new person to come in and really get rocking and rolling very quickly. So in our blueprint, which is part of our cycle, we go from getting teaching a little bit on the third party, getting that list. The list is so important, and how quickly can we start contacting and inviting people. And we should have a system, a very clear system for contacting and inviting. That's why I love with a brand new person who maybe isn't a sales professional, maybe is not an entrepreneur, maybe they're a school teacher or an engineer, and maybe they're not very comfortable with approaching this. Is their first time in a relationship marketing company. I love to use the text message approach because it's non-threatening. There's the chance for rejection is greatly minimized, because it's hard to reject somebody through a text message. So I'm using these text messages to send out short videos. I always start with the 4-minute video, because it's such a non-threatening, it's such a simple video that just touches on the Dead Sea and some very positive things that nobody's going to say, oh, this sounds like a scam to me. And if they do, you need to move on. And I'm just kind of setting the process. And I realized from the Direct Selling Association, when they said, the average person takes 7 exposures before they make a decision to join a relationship marketing company. The challenge with so many of our agents is that they'll do 1 exposure, and they'll do 1 crazy exposure, 1 puke all over people exposure, 1 head spinning in circles and can't stop talking exposure. And the person on the other end, the prospect, is saying, I can't do what this person is doing, or I wouldn't do what this person is doing. I certainly wouldn't do this with family and friends. So they don't do anything, and probably don't look again and put us in a category of things that don't work or things that won't work for them. And so having a very clear and concise map for your brand new people on how to contact and how to invite people, and making sure that someone that's uncomfortable and not sure can do it without a whole lot of fear. And we take that out by using some of the text messages, having that process. You can go back to the Malotz.com and you can look at the webinar I did not too long back about the exposure process and about that contacting, inviting, and how to use the text messages and use the videos that are available to us to set the stage. Is it the only thing? No, it's the beginning, but it's helping you get through those 7 exposures that lead to you bringing an agent into the business. Again, most people stop at the 1st exposure. You get a few people that make it to the 2nd, and some get to the 3rd, but the professionals, those that make big money in our profession, they're the ones that stay in the game. They stay in the process. They know that this is a process. They know that it is a numbers game with a twist. The numbers game with a twist. The twist is, yes, it's relationship marketing, that I'm going through the numbers, but I can't just treat people like a number. I have to treat people like human beings. I have to make sure that my philosophy is people first, that my philosophy is about relationships. If that's not something that comes natural to you, you're going to have to develop that. You're going to have to work on that. If that's something you say that you'll never have, then Secret is probably not the right place for you. And then inside of our cycle, of course, we go from the blueprint and a little bit on third party and how to use the third party tools, including the people, your third party experts. We teach the contacting, inviting, how to do a very systematic contacting, inviting that you could teach an army all over the world how to do. From there, we go right into the demonstrations, because for me, everything is all roads lead to a demonstration in Secret. And let me tell you why. Skincare is a sticky business. People don't change out their skincare readily. I've met Mary Kay ladies that have been on the same regimen for 20 years and are very slow to switch. As a matter of fact, they don't open up to anything usually. And of course, we're converting a lot of those. So that's why I'm talking. We're converting a lot of Mary Kay people into Secret because of the caliber of the products. And I look at myself. Before Secret, I used my soap. I had my one soap. I had my one shampoo, my one soap, and that was it. And for years and years, I had my one deodorant that I used, and I always bought that same soap, that same shampoo, and that same brand. I don't know. I mean, I'm talking probably a decade. Same stuff, never changed it. And when I look at what we're building inside of Secret, imagine as we're converting people to products that are, of course, are superior to the products they're currently using. They're getting hooked on these products. They love the products. The results are very clear, very clear. And now we've got residual income for life. Now, I don't care if they buy the product every 3 months, every 6 months. I got people that are buying the products every 3 months. I got people that are buying the products every 6 months. I've got a person that buys the products once a year. But for me, I don't care. They're people that are buying the products because when they run out, they restock. We've got agents, of course, thousands and thousands that are buying every single month. They're buying products, including myself. I buy the entire age-defying regimen every single month. As soon as I run out a couple of the products before others, but every single month I'm buying age-defying products because I'm trying to defy age. Well, Tiffany would say I'm immature, but that's a whole nother topic. So we move right into this demonstration, which is what cements people on the products. It's what gets people to say, oh, wow, this is different. This is something I've never experienced. It gets people to convert. It gets people that were loyal to another product line to now become loyal to this product line, which results in long-term drinking out of a coconut money, because whether you're here or you're on the beach drinking out of a coconut, this money will continue to come in. And that's why I tell people, don't be afraid of getting one person at a wow party. Don't be afraid of sitting down with one person to do the 5 wows in 5 minutes, because you understand that one person can end up being a customer for the next 4, 5, 10, 15 years or beyond. Long-term residual income for you and your family. This is freedom we're talking about. So am I willing to put 5 years in of creating that type of environment? We know it's possible. You know it's possible because you experienced the products yourself. You know how powerful our products are. And all we have to do is demonstrate the products to show people. I don't have to say a lot of words in demonstrating Dead Sea products because the products do the talking for me. We make sure that it's simple. We make sure that it's fun. I love the 5 wows in 5 minutes. I love those products if I'm limited on time. And I love, look, let me give you a quick invite for to get somebody to sit down with you to do the 5 wows in 5 minutes. How about if you called your buddies or you send a text message to your friends, families, people you know, and say, look, I just started a brand new business. I'd like to show it to you. You may know some people that could benefit from my products. And all I need is 5 minutes of your time. You know, let's meet at Starbucks. I'm going to buy you a cup of coffee. All it's going to cost you is 5 minutes. It'll cost me a cup of coffee. No obligation. Leave your wallet at home. Leave your checkbook at home. But in those 5 minutes, I'm going to blow you away. In 5 minutes, I'm going to get you to say, wow, I promise you this. And again, if I don't, cost you 5 minutes of your time, you got a free cup of coffee on me. But if I do, would you give me 15 more minutes? And what do we do in those 5 minutes? We really, there's 5 products, but we demonstrate 4 of those products. You can do it right there in a Starbucks, in any coffee shop, in any area, pretty much on the back of a car. It doesn't matter. You could demonstrate those products. One of the products, we just show some before and after pictures because the Recover, and that's a 15-minute demonstration, and you're not going to have time based on what you said. And we want to make sure we stick to what we said. And in 5 minutes, you can do an amazing product demonstration with very few words. Now watch this. The beauty of that is they can do what you just did. And if they say, I'm not sure I can do it, what part can't you do? I just gave you, you heard what I said to invite you for a 5-minute presentation. You saw what I did in 5 minutes. I demonstrated 4 products. I got 2.5 wows out of those 4 products. You don't think other people are going to do the same thing? You don't know that people are going to be compelled? Now there is a business opportunity. If you want to stick around for another 10 minutes, I'll show you the business side of things. And by the way, you may know some people that would be interested, but for sure, at a minimum, you would like to get some products. You'd like to experience some products. And so, guys, there's so many things we can do inside of Secret because we have this amazing product line that does so much for us. So, again, keep it simple, keep it fun. Don't get stressed out about this stuff. We're slapping mud on people. By the way, you're not even touching them. I don't touch nobody. They're putting the products on themselves. You know, unless I take a buffer and I buff the thumb or something. You know, other than that, you know, they're doing the products themselves. If I'm in a wild party, I might pick one person, and one person usually only that's a candidate for the Recover mask, and I might help them apply it because, of course, we want to make sure that they really get the bang out of that product. And going from the demonstration, it's real simple. In our cycle, what do we do next? We go to what salespeople would call a close. I hate the word close because it suggests that we're taking their money and we're done with them, and that's what salespeople do. We're in relationship marketing. When they make a decision to join us inside of Secret, we're not closing the deal. We're opening the deal. We're opening a new relationship. This new agent becomes our responsibility. I don't recruit people. I sponsor people. And as a sponsor, that means there's things I have to do. There's information I have to provide. I have to hold hands a little bit in the beginning because most people are what we call motivatables. I've got to help motivate them. I got to motivate them. I got to call them and remind them that we've got a Tuesday night webinar, you know, and because if I don't do that, if I'm not calling and reminding my new agents and our majority of people, which are motivatables, that we've got things going on and we've got the event coming up or that Ignite, the most important conference in Secret's history, the most important, coming off of our biggest year we've ever had, where we doubled the company. And we're going to talk about the things we did to double the company, but we're going to take the lid off this sucker and show you the things that we're going to do to double the company again, and to be there right in the middle and to take, you know, a weekend. It's called compressing time frames, and to see the top leaders inside this company, to hear from the Ben Shabbat family, to hear from the top distributors, the top agents in our entire community telling you, here's exactly what I did. And if you do this, this, and this, you can have the same results. And of course, so we're opening this relationship that requires us to be involved a little bit, Now, the beauty of this, you can build a massive business in 5-10 hours a week. And a lot of people don't realize that. If you start to dumb everything down, if you start to simplify every area of your business, from getting someone started to the contacting, inviting, to the wow parties, to your 5 wows in 5 minutes. I mean, every single step, you know, simplifying your demonstrations, less words, less talk, say more to say less to more people. And we go into the opening of that relationship, which leads us right back into the cycle, beginning the cycle, which is that blueprint, getting a brand new person started correctly, getting them paid and promoted. This is about raw simplicity, guys. Simple, simple, simple. In the end, that's all we're doing, guys. And tonight I'm gonna wrap the call up. There's no need for us to continue much further. I want to give you nuggets that you can use. No need to be overwhelmed. And we still have so much time. If you're on the West Coast, you have a lot of time to do the contacting, inviting. You have a lot of time to call up your agents and say, hey, look, are you registered for the Ignite conference, the most important conference that we've ever had? I'm telling you, there's a John Malott before a major conference and a John Malott after a major conference. Two totally different people, two totally different incomes, two completely different lifestyles. There was a time when I was in Secret, but now Secret is in me. And the same things I would say to people, or seemingly the same things I would say to people after I left the conference, people were getting it now. They were signing up because it wasn't necessarily what I was saying. It's what they were feeling from what I was saying. And there was a belief that was being transferred that didn't get transferred until I got the belief transferred from other people that were amazing, and maybe not even so amazing, that really gave me belief that I could do this thing too. And it changed everything for me. And of course, we've had an explosion. A lot of you guys know, if you know, in Secret, Tiffany and I didn't come out the gate breaking records. Far from it. Our first 6 months were very challenging, and we had our own private time and some tears that were shed, and of course a lot of prayer going on as we were building in the beginning. But if you stay faithful to the process and you have a real process and you stay teaching the team a systematic approach, and you don't deviate from that, and you don't have the flavor of the month every month, and you don't have a lot of fancy footwork, you can really get this thing cranking. You can really get some serious duplication happening within your business, within your organization. And we're going to talk more, guys, going forward. Just so you know, give you a heads up, I'm going to be touching more on how to build a global organization. I've had people ask me a lot about how do I build in South Korea? How do I build in Japan? How do I build in Australia? And how do I build in these other countries? We're going to be focusing more time on this platform. I'm really teaching you the steps. I mean, a lot of it starts from at home. I had a mentor that said within 2 years, 80% of your business should be outside of your backyard. And what he was really saying is, if you got a systematic approach, if you got a real system in place, and you're following that system, that inevitably it'll happen in spite of you, not even because of you. It'll happen automatically, where your organization will start to expand, and it'll cross economic borders and geographic boundaries and racial boundaries, and you name it, religious boundaries, all these different areas, because putting a duplicatable system means it's not about you. It's not about you. It's not about your charisma. It's about the character of the business, and it's about the strength of the products that you're delivering to the marketplace, and it's about you being a servant leader and all those type of things. So as we're moving forward, it's all about posture. As you get better and better, and you've got simple steps, you're going to have the posture, the confidence to look somebody in the eye, and with clarity and conviction, help them get to the next level. They're going to understand. They're going to feel that. They're going to understand when you transfer that belief to them. They're really going to believe that they can do this because you gave them the tools. You gave them the steps. And they see even a brand new person, guys, a brand new person can get that posture very quickly if you've got a very streamlined, simple system to follow. And that's what we have in Secret. That's what we're continuing to fine tune and develop. You're going to see a lot of this, now, almost a rebranding of our Secret system inside of the corporate Ignite conference that's coming up September 17th in Phoenix, Arizona. Make sure you're there. Make sure you got your tickets, guys. Okay, that's it. I wanted to make sure that we took the time. We're coming up on 30 minutes, and you guys know what to do. This is the time, all out massive action. In the summertime is when I was always taught to take market share. We're going into our season. Fall is always our season. The part-timers come back out of the woodwork. You see an influx of volume, an influx of new people. You see a lot of these people that are recovering from the summertime, the cost of the vacations, the summertime hangover is kind of over, and the credit card bills are coming in, and they remember they've got their secret business, and they're back in action again, and that happens every year. So I'm always telling our leaders, work now, get more people in the pipeline, because inevitably you're going to see it's just cyclical. Every year you're going to see more volume coming in, and then of course we run to the conference September 17th. The announcements are going to be amazing. The enhancements that we're going to make are going to help us explode, which will drive us right to our Black Friday and into the end of the year. So, guys, anyhow, appreciate you being on the line tonight. Appreciate everybody plugging in. Please make sure you tune in every Tuesday night to get the content, to get the nuggets, to get the direction the guidance and announcements, communication that's necessary to build a large organization. We appreciate you being on here. Good night, everybody. God bless.